Alright then. Yeah, after work. You know the crossing after you leave the cafe and turn the corner? Under the highway? Yeah, there. Under the highway, huh? Let's meet there. Oh, hold on a sec. Are you up? I'm gonna leave the room, so just wait a sec before you start changing. Sorry, it's nothing. Anyway, is that okay with you? Alright, see you after work.
Good morning.
There we go, Orion. That is a totally normal good morning. Stay like that.
He's not happy about today.
I know he's not. He's very dreadful.
Yeah. He's like, my BFF, my other spirit animal, is going away. Seems like Shin was setting up some sort of meeting. We're going to settle this after work.
Were you listening? Today after work, head over with Toma to the crossing by the cafe. He knows the place I'm talking about. I doubt anything will happen, but be careful just in case. Anyway, I'll go outside, so get dressed.
Yeah, I guess I can't blame him. But it seems really harsh to have to say something like, be careful about Toma. I'm sure Shin is the one suffering most right now out of everyone. Hey, good morning. Did you happen to stay over at Shin's last night? I thought I heard your voice over the phone this morning. I dropped by your place on the way here, but nobody was home. So, was I right? ... Even without your memories, you still chose Shin. That wasn't the case yesterday. I see. But it's true that you trust him enough to spend the night alone with him. Let's get to work. Aw, he knows.
Several hours later.
He knows. He knows the jig's up. Ah, work's all done. You have to go to the meeting place. We should go shuffle me. Dean asked me to walk over with you.
30 minutes later.
You know, you were waiting for me the other day too. What happened with prep school? You're lying about class being canceled, right?
I can make up for all that exam studying later. Right now, I can't concentrate because I want to settle this.
It'll be really funny if you fail your exams because of this.
I'm not going to give you anything to laugh about. So, let's settle this.
Alright, where should we begin?
Stuffle, come over here. On that day, you were the one who heard her when she was collapsed at the bottom of the cliff, right?
Let me ask you one thing. Why do you think that?
Process of elimination, among other things. The first thing that bothered me was what you said when she was discharged from the hospital.
Wait, Shane, she just got out of the hospital yesterday. Why'd you bring her all the way over here? Stephanie, you look kind of pale. Is your head hurting?
You asked, is your head hurting? Remember that?
I don't remember. Did I? What would be so strange about that?
It's true she hit her head, but at first glance, the wounds on her neck were the worst. She was bleeding pretty bad, and they even said at the hospital that those wounds could have been fatal. The people at the scene saw that too. After she was discharged, everyone noticed the bandages around her neck first. So why would you suddenly be so concerned about her head, Toma?
Because I heard her neck wasn't feeling as painful. I figured a blunt hit would cause more lasting pain.
Okay, I see. Then let's leave it at that. Also, about her memories. She never said a word about regaining consciousness at the bottom of the cliff before losing her memories. She probably realized I couldn't have gone to find her, knowing what happened, so she dismissed the memory as nothing. Yet, it was among the first things she remembered after she lost her memories, and lost all the preconceptions she had. And she spoke about it directly and openly, that I had gone and found her. But I didn't go. That means someone she could have mistaken as me went and found her. She just mistook that person as me.
Well, let me ask you this. Is there really no possibility at all that you went and found her yourself?
None. It's impossible. If I had gone and done something to her, I'd have blood on my clothes. That blood pattern, there was blood all over the place. It's not like she had merely been pushed. That person probably tried to pick her up while she was covered in blood and tried to carry her on their back. They probably put their hands on the wounds around her neck to stop the bleeding. That's the most likely reaction. But if they did all that, it wouldn't have just been their hands that got bloody. They could wash their hands, but not their clothes. And what would happen if they showed up back at the lodge looking like that? It would have been painfully obvious that they had touched her.
I don't fit that bill either. Everyone knows I didn't find her, and I came back to the lodge.
But by the time you returned, she had been brought back already, and everyone was in a complete panic. If you immediately rushed over to her and held her right away, your clothes would be bloodied instantly. Nobody would notice or care what you looked like a second before.
I see. At the very least, we know it wasn't you. But it still doesn't mean it was me.
The shoe prints. If they're taken to the police, they can do a comparison.
I doubt it. The person in question probably already disposed of those shoes.
That's very suspicious of you to say. You do know that I took pictures of them before they were thrown away, right?
I guess, but there's no guarantee that it would serve as sufficient proof.
Then one more thing. There were 2 reasons we went back to the lodge. The first was to help bring back her memories. The second was to see the culprit go and search for evidence. If brought back to the scene of the crime, I figured they would go around and check if any evidence remained.
But the people who found evidence were me and Sawa. You don't know who was in charge of that.
I do know. I had Sawa record your conversation the whole time.
What? Wow, so you actually go that far.
Sawa helped us out a lot. The reason Sawa argued with you when you tried to go dispose of evidence that night was because I had her keeping watch. If I was awake in the room with you, you would have been too cautious to try and leave. That's why I asked her. I asked her to wait for a while, and if anyone tried to leave their rooms, to call out to them.
I see. So that's why Sawa was up so late in the same clothes that she'd worn earlier that day.
You mean the same clothes she wears every day for the rest of her life?
Yeah!
I never thought something like that would happen, though. I feel terrible for asking her. Hey, and was that really an accident? Are you sure you didn't shove Sawa down those stairs? Toma.
It was an accident. Was it really, Toma? So he was found trying to dispose of the evidence by Sawa. I was just worried about you, and I didn't pay much attention to Sawa's room. I saw that you'd finally fallen asleep, but the moment I left the room, she called to me. I panicked and ended up elbowing. I don't think I even hit her that hard though. Sawa was probably just startled. She lost her footing and fell down the stairs. I was honestly shocked when it happened. I didn't intend for that to happen at all.
I think so too. Even though you hurt her, you panicked and left evidence everywhere. Now that I think about it, I doubt you'd ever be so cold-blooded to try and cover that up.
I wanted to come forward and apologize. I didn't want her to know I was trying to do it. Now I can finally apologize to Sawa. Thanks for figuring out it was me.
And? What about when you hurt Stuffley? Why'd you do it?
That was an accident, too. I tried to pick her up. My hand slipped.
That would suck.
Funny feeling that's not the correct answer. But at the same time, I kind of want it to be the correct answer.
Well, say he is a good guy and that actually happened. Damn.
Yeah.
That's like unintentional homicide, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, and so he just straight up panicked, and he didn't know what to do, and yeah, that's what I really want to have happen, because I don't want Toma to be evil.
The thing that really confuses me, though, is, I don't know, the whole point of this story, I guess, is to figure out your potential murderer, I guess, or whatever, but I don't know. Just, this entire story kind of seems weird to begin with. That's a lie.
Wait, I didn't read that line.
Yes, you did.
Did I?
You did.
Okay. I'm serious. The reason I didn't admit it was because I lost my chance. By the time I made up my mind to admit everything and return to the lodge, it was already declared incapacitated. When she regained consciousness in the ambulance, she looked at me and smiled and said, "Thank you." I couldn't say anything. If I brought it up again, came forward, it would have just hurt her. I made up my mind to carry the burden of this crime in my grave. Of course, when the suspicion was cast on you, Shin, I thought about coming forward many times. But I firmly believe that this suspicion would be clear. You were completely innocent after all. Just so you know, if you did happen to be arrested and charged for it, I would have talked right away.
I don't doubt that. While I was held for questioning, you came to protest to the police many times.
Oh yeah.
You even helped my mom in writing up a petition. I know better than anyone that you never intended to have me pay for your crimes. All you wanted was for this to be passed off as an accident. You didn't want anyone to be blamed. But that's wrong. Even if it was for just a moment, you had malicious intent. You can't just pretend that didn't happen.
I can. Shin, you might have evidence of the crime, but not the motive. I'm always going to say it was an accident, and I'm sorry for trying to hide it. I didn't hurt her out of malice. There's no reason at all why I would want to hurt her.
There is.
Ooh.
Stuffley, remember what happened back then? What did you say? And what happened because of it? Think back. Do you really intend to just turn a blind eye to something you don't want to see? Is that really okay? You won't be able to move on. Is your relationship right now so important? You can't destroy that. Remember.
Shin. Back then, what I saw was...
Stuffley, are you there? Are you okay? Can you stand up?
Came for me.
Looks like you're out of it. The bleeding's pretty severe. You must have gotten cut by that glass bottle. This is exactly why it's bad to litter. Wait a second, and try not to move.
Ow.
Just holding it isn't enough to make the blood stop. I need to get you to a hospital right away. I'll carry you on my back. Hold on.
You're really kind.
Can you see me?
I hurt all over. Everything's all hazy. I can't see well, Shin.
Why?
I'm not hearing your line.
Kira, look at the name.
I wasn't paying attention. Never mind. I'm not paying attention! I was so deep into it. Sheen isn't kind enough. Don't you think so too? So why Sheen? What are you saying? Why couldn't it be me? Eek.
Eek.
Toma. No way. Why would Toma do such a thing? Why? No, I need to forget this. This was just a mistake. I need to forget everything. It's like you managed to unseal your memories. Orion. Now I can finally return to where I belong. I can go home. You haven't remembered everything yet, but the thing sealing all your memories away is gone. You'll remember everything soon. A reliable knight is at your side, after all. Orion, you're leaving? Yeah, I need to do my job. Once we finish separating, forget all about me, but I'll never forget you. No matter where I am, I'll always be praying for you to be happy. Thank you, Orion. I'll be praying for you to be happy too, Orion. Thanks. Bye-bye. Whoosh. In one ear, out the other. Emily, are you okay? What the hell are you doing? You shouldn't just force someone to remember something they wanted to forget.
You're always like this, Toma. You think everything's fine as long as you're protecting her. That's no good. No good at all. Stephanie, do you remember what happened? Can you talk?
Yeah, but Toma is...
I know, you don't want Toma to hear this. But if you don't say anything, we won't know the truth. We need to know everything and see these crimes atoned for before we can move on, right? Do you really intend to let those responsible carry the sin for the rest of their lives?
Go ahead. If you remembered, then there's no use in hiding. Toma pushed me. I mistook Toma for Sheen. He got mad, and he pushed me. Toma, do you like... You misunderstand. I've just had my issues with Sheen from a long time ago. I got angry when you confused us.
Hey, you're still spouting bullshit like that at a time like this.
You're the one who's always said lying to be the best thing to do in certain situations.
It's the best thing to do sometimes because it brings the best results to everyone involved. But when you try to hide something that's inconvenient to you, it's just a lie.
That's wrong, Sheen. This is the best path for me and for everyone else. That's why, no matter what you say, I'll always deny it. So, what will you do? You got anything else to throw at me?
A car!
Yes! Meow! Wait, no, we're by the train stations! It's gonna be Train-kun! He's gonna get inside! Oh no!
I got it. Then here's another piece of evidence. Here's pictures of her that I found in your room, among other things. Oh, don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
What?
I didn't want to bring this up if I didn't have to, but you're still making excuses.
Wait a minute. Just how did you get your hands on that? I threw all of that away. Took it? Okay.
I snuck in and took a few before you disposed of them. I also took a photo of these sitting in your room.
When did you... Oh, I see. It's when you took my wallet and said you'd go buy some drinks.
It was so obvious he was lying, though.
Yeah.
I told you he was lying.
No, it's just one of those ones where he didn't know what he was doing with his wallet. It's something where, what could he possibly be doing with it? You know, other than stealing his credit card number.
totally invaded his privacy, man.
Yep. You, of all people, would know that I keep my key in my wallet. Ah.
That's right.
You do realize you committed both theft and trespassing to get back, right? You can't use that as evidence.
I know, but that's fine. In fact, I intended to return these photos and items to you, as well as the other evidence.
Why?
My goal was only to get you to admit what you had done from your own mouth. You weren't afraid that you'd actually be charged with this crime, were you? The thing you were afraid of was us finding out what you had done, wasn't it? You love her, so when she called you by my name, you couldn't control yourself and pushed her. You didn't want us to know that. You thought that if you admitted it, you'd hurt us far more than it would hurt you. That's all there was to it. Am I right? My goal is already accomplished. Your goal now is impossible. I'm not interested in this evidence anymore. Throw it away or give it to the police. Do whatever you want.
Looks like I've lost. This is why I don't like competing with you. It can never just stay a game.
I feel the same way.
In the end, stuff only chose your theory. Toma, is this all true? Do you really? You mean the fact that I pushed you? Or that I love you? Are both true.
Why were you hiding it?
You already know the reason.
I know. Still.
You love to lie, and at the same time, you have a hard time letting both the good and the bad coexist. You should just have left it as an accident, then I could have just suffered with this guilt for the rest of my life alone. Your finding out about this has only hurt Stephanie more. And if you found out exactly how much I was hurting, we'd all end up suffering in this guilt forever.
But if we don't face the truth, we can't move on. Me, her, and you too, Toma.
It's just like before when I argued with you about her performance. I told you what you said to her was harsh.
And I told you that what you were trying to do was sweep the truth under the rug and ignore what really happened.
After that, I started desperately praying that she would be even better the next year, so that I could see her smile. And the next year was really amazing. You remember it too, right? She was like a different person. I believe that the gods had heard my prayers and answered them. I thought it was a miracle. But when the performance ended and I saw she rushed over to you, smiling, I finally realized everything. I was beyond disappointed. What I had really hoped for was that for her to smile at me. The one who was actually thinking about her happiness was you, Shin. In the end, that event led to you two to start dating. I guess the gods saw through my selfishness. That was what I was thinking the entire time. Also, Stephanie, how did you not realize any of this until now? Before you and she started going out, I asked you so many times to go out with me. Remember?
He did?
I don't remember that.
You probably said it really lightheartedly like you usually do.
Pretty much. I was scared. If she started avoiding me, I didn't know how I would continue to live my life. But I did say it many times. I wonder why you didn't realize how I felt. And while I couldn't escape the limits of being a childhood friend to you, Shin was able to manage doing so.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. I was pretty much risking my life. Yeah, sure you were. I was prepared to throw everything away. Toma, did you ever confess to her with that level of determination?
No. The only reason you were able to do something like that is because you're impulsive. I had loved her for so long, but after being so close to her for that long, even as a sort of sibling, I couldn't risk it.
Yeah, right. Even if I was in your position, I still would have confessed. The length of time you felt that way doesn't matter. Stop trying to come up with excuses for your cowardice.
Ouch.
You lost the moment you decided you were too scared to take a risk for her. I couldn't give her up to someone like that.
Yeah, you're right. It's exactly as you said. And from a long time ago, I wanted to be able to do that. Like you. Hey, do you still remember when she started talking about marriage back when we were kids? I already liked her since way back then. And that's why I got flustered. But even back then, you came in from the sidelines and snatched her up.
I don't remember.
Wow. Yeah, well, you're that kind of. Definitely. Do you remember? Did that really happen? I remember proposing to you, Toma. But was that really the end of the story?